This version of It's Erik Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Welcome to the program. I am Erik. Over there, that is Jordan. It's not an official show. It's more of a, we have nothing to do, really, that's important. So why not just throw it on and talk for a little while kind of show.
Why not? Say hi.
Regular spiel for the regular show. If you want to support us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, all those places, do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review. I love that we got a comment on one of the YouTube videos or something that we're grifting by asking the audience to go and leave a positive comment because that's going to make you money. Yeah, no shit. None of us are doing this just for the love. Well, some are, but the ones who aren't making any money aren't doing this for the love of doing this. They're doing it to also make money. And unfortunately,
how dare we try to get a few bucks here and there?
Yeah, really, really dumb. Really stupid. And if you're watching us now, you got the alert somehow because this isn't a regularly scheduled show. But each and every week on Thursday nights, we do the show. You can pop into our live rooms over on Twitch and over on Instagram. Not Instagram. We stopped doing that. Twitch and YouTube. And be part of the program and come and hang and no big whoop. Jordan, how are things out there in the frozen tundra known as Arizona?
Oh, I wish it was the frozen tundra. We are hitting record heats early on this year. We've already hit, I think, 112 the other day, and it's just going to get worse. Just horrible. I think I cranked my air down to like 68 the other day. I was so happy. I'm like, all right, this is hotel weather right now. We're gonna crank that down. Bill be damned.
Wait, cranked it down to 68, and you live out in that nonsense?
Uh-huh.
What's level?
I needed it
what's
cold
tame? What's your base temperature that you have over there?
As far as like my air conditioning goes?
Yeah, in your house.
75 usually. But you're outside doing any yard work or stuff like that. Going from 112 to 75, and you're still feeling like garbage.
Jesus.
So I cranked it down and got the house cold, and then just kept everything shut.
Dude, I keep it at 68 all year long. I got back and saw it was going to be in the 80s and 90s this week, and I was freaking out. I'm like, it's going to be too hot. Why am I dealing with this? Why did I come back here? Oh, that's right. It was 100 degrees where I was for about a week. People are saying
a little bit closer to the equator, so you're getting that extra sunshine down there.
Right. I'm trying to, sorry for this. People are saying, oh, it's coming in low, and I'm seeing my levels fine. So I'm trying to figure out if Windows is doing that bullshit again.
Oh, where they level you off? Or they start messing with your audio?
Is that louder? Is that any better? Yeah, I don't know what this Windows issue is, and I keep looking online, like Reddit and other tech support boards and things, and nobody has a fucking answer as to, sometimes your sound card just automatically lowers it while it's leave it at the level that I set. Whatever. People don't need to deal with that. Well, I'm sorry to hear about the unfortunate circumstances of living in Arizona. But
that's all right.
The hot weather seems to be the least of your concerns out there.
Pretty much, yeah.
Arizona is crazy. We were off for the last couple weeks or something. We're coming back live this Thursday. What is the date for that? The 13th?
I think the 13th.
We'll be back for the official show that we do live on the 13th. Goes out everywhere else on the morning of the 14th, Friday mornings. I was away. I was out of the country for a while and was glad to have been doing so, and was looking forward to coming back. Came back and then realized, why did I come back? I
even asked you that. I was like, hey, are you looking forward to being back? And you're like, yeah, home is my comfy place. This is where I want to be.
It is.
And I'm like, but give it 10 minutes, man. You're going to be going, I wish I were back where I was.
I'm retired. I'm retired in my mind. I think I'm done. I'm done with every business Hawaiian that I deal with, the clients that I have, iHeart, everything. I'm just kind of like, I can't financially retire yet. I'm close. Right. I can retire earlier than most, but I'm not ready to do so because I still want to do things. But I shouldn't be at this point now after just having some time off and separating from social media, separating from the world that I know and everybody else, and then realizing and sitting there with my thoughts by myself and realizing I don't need all this other shit in my life.
Just meditating on the serene blackness of the ocean.
Yeah.
Just like, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is what I want to be.
You and I talked here and there when I had internet connection at rare points. And I said I had a new appreciation for that show. Unfortunately, it's been canceled on Netflix called 1899. And there's scenes where they're just on this, I guess it's like a...
It's like an ocean liner.
Yeah, like the ships from like during Titanic time or something like that.
Yeah, like an old steamship.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But essentially those were like the early cruise ships, if you will. People sitting out on those rickety deck chairs with blankets, just staring out into the vastness of nothing. And I've really learned to appreciate that. Just sitting there, staring off into an ocean, and then pivoting, looking, what does it say, from where you are to the horizon is like 15 miles or something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
I might be wrong on that number, but 15 sounds correct.
You know, there's no one to correct us.
And just pivoting and looking over here on this side of the ship and going, there's nothing there either. Now I'm going to look over here. There's nothing there either. And just going, this is fantastic. If this is what I can envision my afterlife being, is just me
blackness.
Sitting. Well,
just the vast nothingness. You're like, well, this.
Do you want my hopes or do you want what I really think happens? Because I'll tell you both.
Little from column A, a little from column B.
In reality, I just think we power down like a computer. Like it's off and that's it. Unfortunately, it just seems the most logical. What I hope happens is that I could just sit on a deck of a ship somewhere and I just stare out into the vastness where space meets the sea. And you're staring at the stars, you're staring at the ocean, and that's it. I could spend my eternity doing that and being just fine. Not worrying about loved ones, not worrying about the state of humanity. If the sun is going to implode and burn the universe, I don't care.
Now, to catch people up, you went on vacation. Where did you end up going? Like, what were you doing?
Santiago, however you want to pronounce it, nailed it in the chat. Out of country is his slang for prison. Yes, I did a week's time in prison.
Those parking tickets catch up to you.
Yeah, keeping with the festive Caribbean theme, I am enjoying some old-time Caribbean blends. Never heard of it before, but I saw it in the store, and I go, that must mean something, so I bought it. This one is premium juice cocktail strawberry lemonade.
Ooh, sounds good.
Wow, I'm gonna have to go back and get you some. That is really damn good. I'm surprised. I thought this was gonna be like Gatorade or something.
Is it just it's lemonade, right? You said strawberry lemonade?
Strawberry lemonade. Oh, of course it's good. The sugar count is through the roof.
Now, is it sugar cane or...
I'm looking real quick.
High fructose.
Of course, high fructose corn syrup. Damn it, I should have read the label. Oh, well, it's a prop for this episode. Why not?
Whatever, looks
69 grams of sugar. All right, done with that. Garbage. Anyway. I went down to the Caribbean. It was kind of two things that kind of merged into one.
Okay.
So my whole family got together and they decided they were going to do this vacation. So we all went away on vacation together. But we also were going to do like a memorial to my dad. It's the 1 year since his passing. And we kind of just figured out how to combine both of them together. So we wound up taking a cruise out of Florida, going down through the Caribbean and the Bahamas, and then back here. And one of the islands down there was a place that my dad and my Uncle Bob used to rent. I mean, it's built up now by today's standards, but you're talking like 80s and 90s. They had fucking bungalows on the beach,
nice.
You know, and I don't want to say seedier hotels, but not as fancy as they are now.
Yeah, it's not the Hilton.
Yeah, so whatever the true Caribbean experience was is what they were going for, and they used to go down there every year together. And so we went down to that island and did a little bit of a memorial thing for my dad down there. Yes, Blitz Mob, the night's end.
God, I forgot about those.
Or remember the company that had the Comfort Inn, but they had like that sign that had 4 different signs, so it depended on which sign you saw was the level of quality of the hotel.
Right.
It's like Comfort
Or remember
Inn.
the Howard Johnson?
Well, Howard Johnson was a restaurant and a hotel thing, and then the
Right.
restaurants died out and the hotel stayed. One of
It was
them
like a
died out, and the
diner or
other
something,
thing's
yeah.
still around in some places. But you had like the Quality Inn, the Comfort Inn, the Sleep Inn, and then whatever the top tier was, and you're like, oh, please, can we get the gray symbol? Oh, it's the beige one. We're just one up from the bottom because.
I was going to say, I've definitely slept in a few Comfort Inns. So, yes, I know exactly which ones you're talking about.
All right, I'm enjoying this deadly beverage again.
That'll slowly kill you.
Yeah.
All right. So you did this this trip down there. Now, let's start at the beginning, because notoriously when you travel, things start to happen to you almost from the get-go. Was there any airport issues when you first leave the area? Because that usually happens to you.
There was, but I just remembered I had something to show you since we were talking about staring off into nothingness. And somebody, our pal Tom from Alberta, Erik craves a profound lack of stimulus. Yes, it is. And I didn't really think about that until I was in the moment. And most people are always looking for stuff to keep them occupied because they don't want to stay home because they're bored, or they don't want to do anything else because they're bored. Or I'm looking that there's too much going on around me, both by my doing and just the environment around me. There's just too much shit all the time. And the fact that it was completely off and completely gone was a luxury to me.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm surprised you even kept in contact with me and Rob. Like, I thought you were just going to be just gone to the world, doing your own thing. Happily, that wasn't the case. We got a few status updates here and there. We got pictures here and there, and this was fun. So it's a nice way to have some notes, as it were, of your adventures. But I just wanted to make sure the trip starts off with a story, because I figured, like I said, usually
I'm
what
get
happens.
To the airport thing. I was trying to get this loaded here, but this.
What is that? Oh, love it.
I took some photos because I didn't know how to describe it, so I just took photos
open.
of when I was in the moment, and I was like, "This is what I was like. I was so happy, just to either lean on a railing or just sit down at one of the higher decks towards the front of the ship where nobody was around." It's quiet, or you have your headphones in, you're listening to something just to relax and staring into the void of space and time.
Yeah.
Now, to other people, it could be like, oh, it's boring, it's empty, there's nothing there. I thrived on this. Like, the second I could leave everybody that I was there with and go away, I would sit on the balconies, I would just sit on the upper decks, and this is all I cared about. And then sometimes you needed to change your pace, you go to the back of the ship. And I'm sitting in there in this other area where people don't go, just sitting there, and I'm watching. You can see, I don't know what they call this, but the path from behind the boat.
Right. The wake.
The wake of the boat, and just staring there and I go, this is everything that I needed in my life. And then find any of the restaurants or something. I didn't sit with anybody else. I sat on the table. It looks pathetic and sad just to see one person sitting at a table, but I'm telling you, it was the best.
Just smile ear to ear, staring off into the distance.
You're drinking tea, just sitting there and eating whatever, and just staring out the window at nothingness. And I was like, I hope my death could be this peaceful. I hope that this is what my afterlife is I'm just sitting on a boat or sitting next to the ocean, and that's where I spend eternity.
I mean, that's not
It's not for everybody. Everybody wants to do water slides and fucking go-karts and mini golf and all the other million things that were there on the ship. And that's fine, too. That's fun to do once in a while. But
yeah, because a lot of these places look like floating malls. And this is the kind of stuff that I like.
Dude.
Checking out the ocean, doing some of the beach activities, like all the things that would make me happy have nothing to do with the ship's activities themselves. Because it's all just a giant mall. You were showing me pictures of movie theaters, and I was like, that's neat.
Oh,
but I could do that here. You know what I mean? Like there were lots of.
Give me a second. I'll show you that too. But Blitz Mob here. Your perfect afterlife is hell for Giddles. I don't have the internal photo. I know I sent you one.
You sent it to me.
But look at this.
No, it's awesome.
Right?
Like that is super cool.
Yeah. That is that is insane. You walk in there and there's just, it looks like 1920s, 1940s Hollywood.
Right.
And you're looking at this and going, oh my God, this is such a throwback. But you walk in, the chairs are pristine. There's a stage before the screen. Curtains open up like around half the theater to open up to show you the screen. It's one of those gigantic half semicircle.
Yeah, it looked like there was an actual stage. So like a stage show could happen, plus the screen was kind of behind it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now, and it definitely has that old school Hollywood feel to it. I thought that was pretty cool. And it doesn't look like it's a huge capacity, but enough to really kind of, I mean, I don't know if there was more to the back area, but you had a good shot. And yeah, I mean, people sitting there watching a movie. And I thought that was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
And you said there was 2 of them?
Heather's correcting me. He's fine alone. He just doesn't want to be on an inescapable cruise ship. Okay, that is true. We did talk about that, how he just thought that would be hell.
He would do it if we set it up like where it was activities he would like, like a butcher boat, right, where he just goes, just a butcher convention on a boat where they're just, killing meat, slicing them up, throw them off the back. I think he'd be into it.
Blitzmob's correct also. Well, there is one avenue of escape. Yes, there is.
I've seen those videos.
I have too. I just watched one today about some kid jumping off a cruise ship, and then
I saw the same one. He was like jumped really far, and then I felt like it took an hour for him to hit that water.
His friends were around him. He was standing on the railing. Is that the one? And yes. The ship was in port, so he jumped off on the other side of the ship.
Crazy.
And then the rest of the news story was Royal Caribbean obviously scooped the kid up, found who he was on the ship with, and banned them all for life. For life. Like they can't go on any property. So it's like, oh, we'll go on this cruise line. Nope, they own it too. Like you're blacklisted. And the fact that you do that and one company blacklists you, all the others are going to.
Yeah,
like they share all that information because, hey, that's the dipshit that jumped off to like the 13th level of a cruise ship. And fuck them, you're done for the rest of your cruising career, if you want to call it that. Anyway, so the airport, right?
Yes.
So in the airport and get down to Orlando was fine. Airport was fine. Flight was fine. There was no problem there. What was a problem was the fact that there was this family of miscellaneous South American origin, because I don't know exactly where they were from, but there was a whole bunch of them. And once that happened, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. It's a family, but they look like a gang. The way that they're acting, they get together and they're hanging out. It's just like these people are going to be a problem. Well, for some reason, all the immediate garages right around Orlando Airport were all closed. So you couldn't get to the short-term parking to go to the gate.
Right.
The rental car things, you couldn't get there. You had to get the trams to go to the other side to get to the rental lots. So the little buses come up and, so there's a bunch of us and we got suitcases, whatever. We're in the front of the line to get into this thing. So the bus pulls into the designated parking area. My mom has a bag and we got all the suitcases. There's a bunch of us there. I'm trying to move all this stuff closer to the bus. My mom's starting to get on. They come from the back, up the side to go, all start getting in, pushed my mom away from, like she's trying to take a step onto the bus, push her off of there, get all, like the whole family packs in there. And the driver comes over, it starts picking up their bags to put on. And I go, what the fuck are you doing? And he said, what? I go, we're all here because all of us there were going to take up, the entire bus. It's like, we were here to get on the thing. They pushed past my mom trying to get on, and they just got on the bus. And he's like, well, I didn't know that. Otherwise, I wouldn't let them on. I said, so what are you going to do about it? He goes, I can't just throw them off. I go, I can throw them off. And as I'm about to step on the thing, another airport employee walks over, saw the whole thing, and he's yelling at the driver and said, these people, and plus there was another family behind us that were all online waiting to do this, and they're arguing back and forth. There's nothing he can do. The guy goes, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. Shuts the doors and drives off. So now we have to wait another 20 minutes. And we'd already been waiting 20 minutes for this fucking thing just to get over to the rental stuff. All this shit happens. So I was pissed, and I just happened to find that they were in the background of a photo that I took. Now, it's not the entire family, but it's a portion of them. So these fucks right here of miscellaneous South American origin.
Gotcha.
They had a flag with them. I didn't remember what the fucking flag was. I was asking other people because for some reason, a lot of these families get together. They got to have a flag with them, wear it like a cape, and they're taking photos and all this other nonsense. So if you recognize any of these people, I doubt you do. But if the internet does, any information would be gladly accepted at this point. I don't know what it's going to do, what good it's going to do me, but fuck these people. Fuck their entire family. I was just fucking furious with it.
Now, was this like a shuttle bus situation or like an actual, like one of those big giant, like,
no,
like,
it wasn't like a coach bus thing. It's one of those it's a longer shuttle bus that has the entrance from the front and the back to get into, and it's like you pick your luggage up and there's shelving right there, and then you sit down.
Right.
That's all it was. But this fucking family just shoves my mom off the front of the steps there, and they just all plow in like no big fucking deal.
I'm actually surprised by that because I know back when I went to Orlando to go to Disney World, they had what's called the Magical Express. Now, I don't think they do it anymore, but at the time it was these big coach buses. And since you were doing one of those Disney cruises, I assumed that would have some kind of larger capacity thing to
we
get more
We didn't have
people.
that because we got in a day early.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
we were going to other family members' places and stuff until the next day. So everybody was flying into there, and then we were going to stay at other family members and then go the next morning to be there for it. Yeah, Heather, I am. She writes, wait, so the show six the public on randos that make Erik mad now, slippery slope, but all do you? Yeah, I do. Fuck them. Sorry if you don't like it. You can go and watch all those other shows that none of us have watched that you've given us hell about watching. I mean to watch them and I keep forgetting. They're all Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I can't think of the damn show that she told me. I think it's on Amazon. I don't remember. I have it. It's on one of these 90 fucking Post-it notes that are sitting here that I still haven't gone through everything. But yeah, I did. Sorry, deal with it. Yeah, so that was the only thing that happened with the airport. Next day we go get ready to go on the cruise. Everything's fine. There was the ship was fine. Everything was fine. Oh, I'll point this out. I've been on many cruise ships. This wasn't even anywhere near the biggest of the cruise ships that I've been on.
Ooh, humble brag.
Okay. But
yes.
I've never been on a ship where it just didn't feel like the air conditioning was on at all.
Really?
Like it was, but it felt like it did nothing. Like if you walk off the deck where it's hot and humid, because you're outside and you open a door to go into the center of the ship and you get that blast of air conditioning and you're like, oh, it's nice and cold. And the second you walk in, all of a sudden the blast is gone and it feels hot and humid again. Trying to sleep in your room, no matter how you were cranking it down, I was calling the cabin steward. I was like, is there anybody you can talk to that could take care of this for me? Because there's just like nothing. And the entire cruise, everyone's just bitching about the air conditioning. And I don't get it. It's on, but nobody was feeling it at all. And then some people were saying, well, there's a lot of people on the ship. I've been on cruises that had more than this amount of people on the ship, and it felt like it was Arctic all the time. Norwegian Cruise Lines, notorious for having everything ice cold. They have ice bars on their ships. You walk into a bar and it's below 32 degrees. You have to wear winter stuff to go into the bar. Now, if I could find a way can I just set up a cot here? And I can just sleep after hours. I'll come in at 3 a.m. and I'll be out by 9. Just let me sleep here in the freezing cold. It'll be fantastic. But air conditioning was a big problem.
Gotcha.
On the ship there. Let's see. Miscellaneous South American family, air conditioning. I've been writing stuff down. So the first day I almost broke my foot.
Yeah, God, I forgot. There's been so much going on in your week that I forget the beginning of your week. You're like, I already have stories. I'm like, wow, day one.
I have noticed, by the way, so I'm wearing one of my festive shirts, courtesy of Tommy Bahama. It's fucking fantastic. It's comfortable as hell.
Looks comfortable.
My hair is, like, the lighting here is not doing justice to my tan or my hair, because my hair is somewhat blonde again, even though it's looking dark here. And the tanning looks good. And my beard turned white.
I was going to say, we got a picture from Eric about, I would say, 4 days in? And
snowing.
Hair was blonde, tan was on point, beard white as the driven snow. And I'm like, this is a new Eric.
It was. I started to look like Popeye's dad.
Oh, God.
What was it, Pappy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the photo that I sent to you. But yeah, my beard was white, my hair was blonde. It was insane. It was a great look. And I said, I think this is who I am going to be from now on. This is going to be the new me. Some people, when they have a midlife crisis, they work out or they get a car or they just do something dumb. Mine is officially deciding that I need to retire from life as it is and just live down. I can't find the photo. If you have it, send it over to me.
I don't. I think you took it out of the group chat because you don't like me and Rob having random pictures of you.
Yeah, that's true.
For no reason.
I mean, because then I hear it becomes batch material, and I just don't want to be a part of that. It's really gross.
Gross.
Heather, I wouldn't even go on the Coheed and Cambria cruise, and they are at the top in my top 10 bands of all time. I don't think I'd want to go on any kind of rock cruise.
You don't want to go on the Creed Nickelback cruise?
No, I don't want to go on a cruise for any kind of band. I don't want to go on a cruise for, I see Chris Jericho's wrestling cruise, rock and wrestling thing. He does well. Like, he packs it out, and financially it does fantastic for them. I just don't want to, I would maybe do the Impractical Jokers cruise. Because they usually have a lot of comics and other acts and stuff going there. I think I would be okay with something like that. But I don't want to go on a themed cruise. Well,
there was the themed cruise, and here's Tom commenting on it. That Kevin Smith had success with the cruise Askew. So when is the Eric Nagel Show cruise? Kevin Smith's cruise would be kind of cool.
Decides to pay us full time, then I'll worry about a fucking cruise.
I'm gonna need more than $2 to $3 in super chats if we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah, I don't even care about that because our money comes from elsewhere. But
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I can't do a themed cruise. I can't do it. I know some radio shows do it, and that's fine. I know my buddy Mike Calta does a cruise out of Tampa, and I think it's like a 4-day, 3-night kind of deal. And he sells that out every year, and they have comedy acts and bands and all that stuff, and that's fine. That's great.
Now,
something like that question, I might entertain, but I don't want to go on, the When We Were Young equivalent of the cruise where you're going.
They have those. They have emo cruises.
Yeah. It's like, it's going to be Creed. It's going to be Trapped. It's going to be Stained. It's going to be all these bands that are just in the same genre that could interchange easily. And then it's featuring the new chick from Linkin Park. And I'm like, all right, I'll wait for the video to come out. I don't think I want to go on that.
I was going to say, if we were going to have more time down in San Diego, I would say we just do like a little San Diego boat tour just for funsies.
Right.
And we'll just record the show on a boat. My always question with those kinds of things, real quick, was
Your always question?
my only question.
Okay.
Is these themed cruises, do they get the whole run of the boat, or is like only a segment of the boat being held for like the cruise that's being done? And then, you've got 75,000 different randos packing the pool while, Creed is playing.
No, the whole ship's rented out.
Gotcha. Okay.
A promotion company will rent a ship on off times for other cruise lines.
Makes
or
sense.
independent companies that have boats available to do that stuff. Now, I've seen in some videos, some photos, I think even a porn or two got rented for on a cruise ship there. But usually, sometimes they're like Royal Caribbean ships that are like the oldest one in their fleet before it gets scrapped. They rent it out for
the boat with the holes in it. You'd be like, you better do this cruise
something
quick.
like that. Yeah, but you see like stuff like that. Maybe Carnival does too. I know I've seen some Royal Caribbean ships that were rented for. Like the Jericho cruises, I think, are on Royal Caribbean. They use one of their ships for all of that stuff. All right, let's move on. So the first day, almost breaking my foot. So there's one of the things I like to do is stare out at the ocean, as I said earlier. They have a restaurant on the upper part of the back part of the ship. And it's sort of like a buffet style. You go through and it's like a huge half moon shape for the restaurant, and you can go through the whole inner portion of it, and there's all different kinds of stations and stuff to get whatever you want. And I said, look, we can go eat there. I'm fine with that. I want to get a table on the outside, so stare at the ocean.
Right.
Well, some of the family members that went up ahead did not. They got a table as soon as they walked in, right there internally in the restaurant, near a window, which is okay, fine, but not enough seats. So,
of course not.
I said, oh, well, you know what? Just grab a seat from that table over there, and you could sit at the end of the table, which is the walkways between all the other tables. So if I sat there, I'd constantly have to be moving the chairs for other people to come and go. And I said, I'm not doing that. And I said, why didn't you get a table on the outside? Oh, we got here. We just thought it was easier. I go, then why didn't you get a table with enough room for everybody? Well, it was the first table we saw. What does that say to you? Okay, you don't give a shit. That's fine. I understand. You're setting the precedence early for this cruise that, all right, I'm on my own for some of these things. That's fine. That's fair. Not complaining. I was complaining that the table wasn't out there. So I wanted to go. I said, I'm going to just get food and sit out there. No. We're going to move. We're going to move everything. I don't want you to move. No. Go over here. Look, there's you could take the table by the window. Okay. So you put me at the smallest portion of the table where there's no room to move, and I got to pull the chair out backwards, step in front of it, then pull it in because you can't move left and right. I said, no, that's okay. No, I'll move. And then somebody does this. When they can't move their chair, when they grab the arms of the chair and then they hop with the chair to move back? And I kept saying, no, don't do that. And they go, no, I'll move. I didn't want you to move. They hopped up, landed the back leg of the chair right on my right foot. On the big toe and the toe next to it. Slams down on it with all their weight. And I did that silent cry that a kid does before the big wah comes right after that. Yeah. Oh. I was like this. The pain was ungodly. It felt like I got electrocuted. When you see that jolt, that whatever it is that goes across your eyes, that electric current. And I go like this. Boom. I shove the back of the chair. The person goes into the table, onto the stuff, knocks stuff over. What are you doing? And now I'm in a lot of pain. I'm just keeled over. I'm grabbing my head because the pain is unbearable. My foot is killing me. I can barely walk on it. I thought they broke my toes. Oh. I wound up having to go and get it checked, and it wasn't broken, but it was badly bruised. So now I'm starting off the whole thing where I can barely walk with my right foot.
Now, I don't really think I heard this. Was this breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Breakfast, first day.
Oh, so you really did start off the whole thing with terribleness.
Yeah. And then it was all, oh, I'm sorry. I said you could. No, I said I would move. And I, it's like, I don't care about everybody sorry. Because they're only trying to do stuff after it's already a problem. And I said, I told you I didn't want to sit here. Then I told you not to move. I told you I didn't want to go over there. And you still did everything. And now we're at this point. And they're mad at me because I'm being unreasonable. Whatever. So I just stopped talking to everybody. I'm in a lot of pain. I go get checked. It's, it is what it is. I realized I can't wear the new cushioned sandals, flip-flops, whatever you want to call them, because I try to walk with them and it doesn't have enough pressure to constrict my foot. Right. So I'm wearing socks that are in shoes the whole time just to walk. It's just a fucking nightmare. And I keep getting told, I said I was sorry. I still hadn't said a word about this. I'm limping a little bit. I'm in a lot of pain. And they're like, what's going on? It's like, I need a minute. I can't go up the stairs here. I just need a minute. I said I was sorry. I don't fucking care that you're sorry. I don't care. No one's talking to you. I'm certainly not talking to you. Stop talking to me. Whatever.
Jeez. This is breakfast.
This was breakfast.
This is day one of, what was it, a 3-hour tour?
7 days. 8 days, 7 nights. Then, later on, at the little kiddie pool, because kids too little to go into the regular pools, I found out, so we have to go to this one. And kids having a good time. I'm sitting there on the edge with my feet in the pool, and it's only about 6 inches, and it has a fountain in the middle it shoots out like an umbrella. It's supposed to look decorative, but because of the wind, it's shooting one way, right? So kids in there playing, other kids are playing. All of a sudden, I'm just sitting there. Money comes flying at me. I get hit with a $20 bill. I look down, and there's a $20 bill stuck to me.
Okay.
So I take it off, and I go, holy shit, there's a $20 bill. And I look around, and I see some more money flying into this glass railing before it goes over into, the deck below. Swing out of the pool. I pick up the rest of the money. And I'm standing there, and I'm looking around and trying to figure out which direction it came from. I'm walking around. Somebody else like, hey, some other money came up. He's like, is this yours? I said, no, but other money came flying over here. I think it might be these people. I'll give it to them. So they gave me the money. I have it all together. I walk over to this lady who's reading a book. I said, I think this came from your direction. Did you lose any money? No, I didn't. You sure? Yeah, no. Okay. I start asking all around. Now, let me tell you a sign of modern times. Nobody has any cash on them.
Right.
They all said, it's like, I don't carry any cash on me. Everyone I talked to, nobody had cash on them. So this money came from somewhere.
Which is something that you, I, and what's his face? Dipshit.
Rob? You called him Aaron? Oh, that's not.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of what we were talking about. You had talked about you had to run to the bank to get cash because you knew cash would be a good thing to have.
Right.
Giving tips, doing all this stuff. So it's surprising that nobody else going on these cruises has that same mentality.
Right.
Also, good on half the people that you sat there and asked at saying, no, it's not my cash. The first person you went up to should have been like, yeah, it was mine.
You have to, because you can't just pick up the money that flew over there. And apparently other people were looking. And that was my thinking. Like, other people saw this. You can't just go and take all the money and then put it in your pocket. And then somebody goes, excuse me, sorry, that just flew out of my bag. Now you look like the asshole, right?
Right.
But I stood there. I looked around, saw more money flying over. Grabbed that. Somebody else said, oh, this money isn't ours either. And I said, I think it might be theirs. They give me that money too. So now I have it all together. And
just collecting cash like a church.
I asked all these people. And none of them, like, everybody's looking at me. I'm like, is this just, everyone's like, no. And they all said, it's like, I don't carry cash on me. I don't have any cash on me. So other people are like, it's like, I guess it's yours. I said, no, I'll hold on to it, but you can't just pocket it. So I put it over off to the side and I'm, in the pool with the kid for a while. And like an hour or so goes by. Nobody says anything. So I said, all right. I walked away and I forgot I had it till a little later when I'm emptying my bag and stuff. And I go, oh yeah, the money. Nobody came and claimed it. So there it was.
There you go.
Yeah, so
that's that's your ankle karma right there. You got hurt.
Well,
you got paid for it.
I still didn't feel right doing anything, so I let it sit in a drawer for like 2 days. And then after that, I go, what am I doing? No one's coming to claim this. So then I used it to buy shit for other people. But yeah, so the cash thing happened. There's something that happens out by the pool midday that they don't tell you. And it's fucking terrifying. It's meant to be fun. And as it's, the initial start of it is terrifying. After that, it's people enjoyed, the kids enjoyed it, I guess. There's I guess it's their smokestacks in the center of the ship and in the back of the ship. They all have those giant horns, So when they're coming into a dock or leaving a dock, they blow the air horn and stuff so that people know shit's going on, the ship's leaving, whatever it is. They have this. Do I have the video here? I'm looking for it. Damn it! I shouldn't have brought this up because I don't.
We'll just cut it out in post.
No. I'll see if I have it somewhere. I'll just swap it over on the drive. So the smokestack itself plays Disney songs, and in the midday they don't tell you this. And
now I've seen footage of when they roll into dock. Sometimes they'll do the
right. That's their their ID, their legal ID, if you will, their identifier, if you will. Other ships just have the thing where it just goes like it's really loud and bassy and everything to let you know what's going on. And the Disney ship then responds with their version, and it's "When You Wish Upon a Star." That I knew. But in the midday, if you're not paying attention to what time it is, they do it around noon, ship's time. And they just start out of nowhere blasting other songs, and you jump every fucking time. It's funny the first time. It's terrifying the rest of the time. And then it just becomes super aggravating and annoying.
And it's always at the same time, right? Like it's just not, they just randomly decide they want to mess with people.
No, it's around midday, and they're sitting. I'm waiting for this thing to upload. It's midday, and it starts playing, and you're like, okay, this is fun. You forget everything that's going on. And then if you're swimming, if you're laying there on a lounge, you're sleeping, you're trying to just enjoy yourself. That thing comes on, and you almost shit your pants because how loud the damn thing is. All right, I think.
Did you notice that yourself losing all sense of time on this cruise? Like you're just kind of floating around doing the stuff, or was there like any pre-planned activities that would give you an idea of what time it was? Because I know, like when I would go to Hawaii, like I would just forget to even look at my my phone to even check the time, let alone know what time it was throughout the day. Like unless there was something planned, it was just, oh look, it's getting dark.
Yeah, no, they have an app that works on board that keeps you keeps your schedule for you, tells you about events and things. If you're looking to do activities for your kids or see shows or any of that kind of thing, so you select, all right, I want to see that, and then it'll give a notification will come up on your phone. Hey, this is happening in 5 minutes. Hey, it's lunchtime over here. Hey, it's dinner time at this dining room. You go over there and do that. I found the video here. Let's see where it is. Thank you for everybody who's hanging out for this, because this is the equivalent of how sitcoms would talk about like the 50s through the 70s. Oh no, they brought their vacation slides. We're gonna have to sit here and talk about their vacation. Yeah, well, we're bringing that back.
The old round thing where we click.
We're bringing that back in a big, big way. So, okay, here we go. I'm gonna lower the volume so that it's not terrifying everybody. Here we go. So this is what I did. When I recognized one day that, oh my God, it's almost time for this thing to happen. I sat there right below the fucking thing and turned on the camera just to record
waiting.
it. Yeah. So listen to this. You hearing that?
Yes.
Okay. If you're sitting there sleeping, you're not paying any attention. That is much louder than this video is showing you here. I'll raise the volume. Here we go. You're fucking mad now at this point because, like, this just scared the shit out of you.
It's a small world. I
And
hate
every
that.
day the songs change. They were like one day it was all pirate songs from Pirates of the Caribbean. I think there's another one. Maybe. I guess not. Yeah.
Stuart, my husband had a heart attack too. It's a small world.
Yeah.
He's just like die. Ugh.
How did he
Wasn't
break his
expecting
leg?
it.
Well, he was trying to climb up the stairs, and then yo ho, a pirate's life for me came blasting through the air horn, and he fell and tumbled down back the stairs.
I just couldn't. I could not imagine just going about your day. All of a sudden, something from Cinderella just scares the shit out of you. You're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
No thanks.
So,
That's
yeah. So you
hilarious.
had that to deal with. Again, that's only exclusive to the Disney cruises. The other cruise lines don't do that stuff.
There's some decorum.
Oh, you know how we've been talking about for the last few months, actually since Valentine's Day, those Stanley Cups, the
Yes.
metal cup craze that I thought came and went. Like everybody went crazy for those decorative colors at Target and then disappeared. They're all over the boat.
Of course.
Everyone has their own, either that Stanley Cup thing or is this other thing that looks like almost like a genie's lamp. And it's got like a big silver top that it unscrews. They all have these metal water bottles. And there's stations all over the ship to just put your bottle in there and get fresh water. And I've seen the size of the majority of the people on this cruise. I go, they can't be drinking the water that everyone's claiming that when they all have these bottles. But they're everywhere with this stuff. I saw the dad walk at night where I would see dads coming through up the elevators, leaving the hallways from their cabins with like some kind of device that holds 4 of them or 6 of them, like an old milkman would carry milk to
Right.
your door. One guy had 2 hands full of these little things that were holding water bottles.
Wow.
And they're just going up to the different stations for the kids, for all of them. And he's just filling up every bottle that they got and walking back to the room. Other people are going up to the top decks and they're taking these things that you think, oh, they're going to get water. No, they're getting Mountain Dew. They're getting Coke Zero. They're getting all the other soda flavors that are up there. And they're filling these giant things for water with soda, with, no, it wasn't Mountain Dew. It was whatever the Coca-Cola equivalent is for that.
So
It's all
yeah,
Coke products on the ship. So they were doing Powerade and vitamin water and all of that stuff. And it's just everyone just had these bottles everywhere. And I said, "Oh my God, this isn't just like a Gen Z thing, or women who need to pose with their decorative cups so that they feel young and whatever." With all of that, so that was a thing. One family member, stuff was going on. I didn't eat lunch, so I went to go grab something real quick, and was told, "You shouldn't go eat because dinner is in a couple of hours, and then you won't want to eat dinner."
You haven't eaten lunch.
I'm in my 40s. And he's like, well, don't want to eat now. Dinner's in a few hours, and then you'll be nice and hungry for dinner. Go fuck yourself.
You don't want to spoil your dinner, Eric. Don't have any dessert.
I'm sorry. I'm going to get a roast beef sandwich. I haven't eaten anything today. I'll be fine when it comes to dinner time. Just the amount of old-timey family stuff that was going on, and then you realize, yeah, this is more family than I bargained for. I think I'm done. I got my family filled for the next few years.
That is pretty. I mean, stuck on a boat with them. Yeah,
Right.
I could see that.
The amount of people that are unaware of their surroundings. Something happens to people when they all start walking in the same direction that they all have to hurdle together, and then they slow down and almost stop.
Yeah, that's not That's not a cruise ship type of thing. That is just everywhere.
Right.
That's like, you walk into a store and then that's where they check their lists or talk to their kids or get a phone call or check their text is in the doorway.
Yeah.
That's just, people walk at a pace, but just somehow go to the side enough where you can't pass them. Mm-hmm. And then when you go around, nope, still can't go that way. It's just everywhere.
They all get together. They're going the same direction, and they all kind of slow down. And they stop. Some people stop midway and then look over here. Everyone else is crashing into them, and they're like, "What the fuck?" It's like, get out of the way. What is wrong with you people? You're in a travel lane.
Yeah, I hate that.
And I don't know what happened. If fat magnetizes people together because they're all terribly out of shape, and then they all just stop. Maybe their heart gave out, the legs stopped functioning. I don't know what it is, but the second they're all in a major walkway, a thoroughfare, as I keep calling it, they all stop and then they just muck up the works, to coin a phrase. I had a family member after different events and like stops on the islands and things like that. I would sit there and I would go through the photos and the videos that I took, and just because I could get it done now instead of having it at the end of the cruise go through everything. So I'm sitting there like I'm editing photos and videos, trimming down, deleting the crap, keeping the good ones, whatever. Family member comes over to me, walks over, and then leans over to look into my phone. Right? And I said, "What are you doing?" Like I looked up and like, "What are you doing?" And I was told, "Well, you're always on your phone, so I wanted to see what you were doing." Like that's none of your fucking business. I mean, it wasn't anything bad, but it's like it's none of your fucking business what I'm doing on the phone. Well, you're always on. I mean, again, older people, but they're like, "You're always on your phone, so I just wanted to see what you were doing." Why didn't you ask? Why are you on your phone? What are you doing? Oh, I'm editing all the photos and the videos from where we were and things we were doing, and I'll airdrop it to everybody. Like everybody's
looking at pornography. This was my pornography store.
I should have been. I should have been watching something like really awesome, and just when they look over and go, "Oh my God, you're watching porn!" Yeah, because
I was checking out that video Jordan sent me of that girl at the Oilers game showing off her tits.
Right. So, like I'll edit the photos and everything, and when the kids are all together and stuff, so I'll airdrop the photos to this kid's parents and those parents and whatever, just so they all have them, because none of them bothered to take photos, or if they do, they're terrible, or they don't sort it out and send to everybody. So I'm the one doing everything for this. I'm not complaining. I like doing it because then I know it's done right. But they come over there. It's like, I just wanted to see. It's like every time I go, what did I write here? Every time I go through the photos and sit there and try to edit them and make them look nice. Sometimes if I sit there, nothing's going on. We got time to kill. So I'll sit at a table and I'm just in there trying to edit. I'll put my headphones on to listen to something. Then they all come and trying to talk to me. Well, you always have your headphones on. Yeah, so I don't have to talk to you. Look, this is a vacation. You don't need to keep talking to me. Go do whatever you're doing. I'm going to sit here at this table for a half an hour and just go through the stuff that we just did, and I'll send everybody everything. It's like, leave me alone. But coming over and walking in front of me, it's just like, what are you doing? You can't go on a cruise without doing bingo. It's been one of those staples through the beginning of time with cruising.
See, I always associate cruises with shuffleboard. I've never seen shuffleboard outside of a cruise ship.
They did at one point. They used to have shuffleboard. They don't have them on cruises anymore. They also don't have clay shooting, which used to be on the back of cruise ships, where they would pull or skeet shooting.
Yeah,
as they call it. They'd pull the discs, and you'd have a gun, and you'd shoot the discs as they go flying off the end of the cruise ship. They also used to allow you to hit golf balls off the back of a cruise ship. They don't do that anymore. So.
Well, you get it stuck
now you
in
have
a whale's
water slides
blowhole.
and race tracks and miniature golf and all this other stuff here. They don't have all that old timey stuff, but they have bingo. So I was like, all right, I'll go bingo. So I went with my mom, a couple of people. We're gonna go sit down and play bingo. Hold on a second. This is your boy, right? This is Aaron.
Yes,
Aaron. All right. Aaron writes in the chat, "What's Erik mad at today?" Checks notes. People drinking water. Yeah. Well, Aaron, there's also some notes about a podcast you and Scott and Jordan did that I wrote Jordan at, 2, 3 in the morning my time.
Yeah, it was late.
Just infuriated by what you guys were doing.
I did inform the gentleman, and I did inform that we will be making arrangements to have a nice powwow to discuss set events and other things.
I appreciate you bringing the families together and us having a sit down, because some stuff needs to be discussed.
We will bring the two worlds together.
Both in disgust and be discussed. Both will happen. Anyway, back to the bingo. So you go in there. I know you'd pay for a whole bunch of cards and stuff, and you'd go and you'd sit there and play bingo. You don't do that anymore because they don't have the paper cards. They don't have the markers. They don't have the chips. They don't have any of this stuff anymore. So now they have what they call the paper cards, but it's a sheet in some kind of a plastic thing, and you draw with erasable Sharpies, which, okay. Or they give you a tablet that you pay for, and you get like 20.
Are you mad at technology right now?
Yes, because it's expensive and it kills the whole point of the game. You get a tablet, and then you can pick like, well, this gives you 24 cards. Or if you spend $50, this gives you 48 cards. And then you could hopefully win whatever. But when you have the tablet, you do nothing. When they call the number on the stage, whatever, with the computer, it automatically sends a signal and does it all for you. So you sit there for 40 minutes doing nothing while the guy's making terrible hack jokes about different numbers that are being called and trying to like schmooze with these people in the room.
Oh yeah, it's his open mic night.
Yeah,
hosting the bingo.
So and you can't do anything. So you get a screen, and then what it does is it adjusts your best chances to your card up to the front of the screen there. So it looks like this, right? So I had the tablet that had 24, plays 24 games each round for you. And if you notice right here and right here and maybe right over here.
So it's supposed to track when you get it. So you're not yelling out bingo like you're supposed to do.
You are yelling out when you have to still yell out bingo.
Gotcha. But they can verify it quicker.
So you may notice that there's 1, 2, 3 bingos here that I had to stand up and yell bingo. So I won a round. You don't win multiple times for the bingos that you have. This all counts as just one win, which was a little disappointing.
So in one round, you were expecting to get 3 different prizes.
That was the hope, because I had 3 different bingos, but it all counted as one.
Yes, this is one round, and this is your chance to win using multiple cards.
Right.
I got to say, I understand that. I do like your enthusiasm to try to get 3 things in one.
I tried. I'm going to get all I can, but instead I had to just settle for the several $100s that I won that round. So that was nice. What else do we have in there? Oh, the doors. They decorate everything on this ship, not just with Disney stuff. I overheard some crew people talking. They were looking at a room. I guess they were going to maybe do some changes or an expansion or something. And the term I overheard them say that everything that can be Mickey has to be Mickey. So if there's something that's like, well, we got this outlet could be turned into a Mickey Mouse, or this door hanger can be turned into anything, all this little stuff isn't just, practical. It's like it can all be turned into Mickey. So that's what they're doing. The door stuff, the door situation is insane, because I didn't realize all the doors are metal, and it allows you to put
they were using like magnets and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So I should have blurred this family's name out, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't say where they're from. Yeah, the door culture was insane, because you walk down the hallways, everyone's got different kinds of magnets, lights, decorative stuff. They have mailboxes for the kids and for family members hanging outside the door. And apparently people go around each night and leave little prizes and surprises in other random people. Like, this is a whole communal thing that I had no idea was going on. There's all these Mickey rubber ducks. They're just rubber ducks that have like wearing Mickey hats and stuff. They're all different colors. They look like all different Disney characters. They're putting them in like places like they're next to a ledge near the elevator. They're all everywhere. Like, you're wasting so much needless money for strangers that don't give a shit, or maybe they do give a shit about it. It's just I didn't know about this stuff. Look at this. This is all custom made stuff.
Yeah.
They have their magnets with their names, with the symbols. They had this thing that sticks out. It's a boat. And I'm like, I'm looking on the cruise ship's website and some Disney site. I don't see any of this stuff anywhere. So
No, people make these.
I asked somebody, I'm like, so where does anybody get this stuff? Etsy? That
Yeah.
Temu site that showed up out of nowhere, I guess, earlier this year? Here's one. Look at this. People are just hanging stuff all over the place. This one was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
The lights would change. It would put on different light shows and stuff. So you're walking down the hallway and you're just seeing doors and everything glowing and all of this other stuff. And
When you can see this particular family has done this a few times because they're commemorating every trip they've ever been on. So when they decide they want to go on another
I was looking
cruise,
at the lights. I didn't even look at this.
look at that. Yeah, because when you showed this the other day, I was like, oh, look, they've done 2010, 2021, 22. And then they, this is like, trip number 5, 6 for them. So this is a theme that they do.
Oh my God.
I've seen this happen at Disney World at some of the resorts. They do the same thing with their windows and their doors. It is not just a cruise thing.
So they do it at the resorts too?
At the resorts, the doors would be out and done just like this.
Oh, I must be staying at the good places because I never see it at the places that I stay at.
You're at the
I might
DVC
now.
places where they don't allow it. I'm at Art of Animation.
I stay at the Yacht and the Beach Club.
Oh yeah, they won't tolerate that stuff.
Yeah.
That's jacket for dinner type place. No, we're going all you can eat Mickey buffet.
Yeah. Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, but they do that at some of the resorts.
So like this is even the lesser level of the mailbox. Somebody had a thing where it opened up and it collapsed and there's like 6 different things. And it has in the Disney lettering, it says grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, kids, all of that stuff. So yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
That they had all that going on. What else do we have here? Oh, every restaurant, because of COVID and everything, has these wash basins, like this customized thing that's fits multiple people. They have people who stand in front of the restaurants. You can't go into the restaurants until you till you wash your hands. You got to scrub up for dinner.
That's weird. I've never seen that.
Yeah, the restaurants, the buffets, any of that stuff, you have to go in and you have to scrub up before you go into any of this stuff. They have attendants there. So it's like I kept trying to walk past. Once in a while I'd walk past.
Sir.
Yeah, but they do call you out and it's like you got to go wash your hands. You could have just taken a shower, gotten ready for dinner, walked to the restaurant, and now you got to scrub up again.
How upsetting is it when you're trying to sneak into a restaurant without washing your hands and an attendant wearing giant comical white gloves going, "Sir,
breaking its
you're
giant
gonna have to wash your hands
like this,
just giant fluffy knuckles."
Yeah, the Mickey hands
how
turn into
embarrassing
Hulk
for you.
hands. Yeah,
Better wash your hands, haha.
yeah. Oh, don't do the voice. What's wrong with you? All right. What
7
else do
days
we
of
have
that.
here? I'm seeing the chat. You're clearly angry at angry people. Eric, how bad did your arm hurt after shaking your fist at so much stuff? I wasn't mad at the stuff with the doors and all that stuff. I just was surprised. Like I found it interesting.
Here's the fun stuff that Eric would send every now and then. He was not only happy that he got to see a boat sink, and he'll tell this story.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Remember when they said everything that can be Mickey must become
Everything is
Mickey?
Mickey.
This is like the like for lowering blinds, whatever that thing is to ease the tension of the rope that you're pulling there.
Yeah.
That was Mickey.
Well, and that's also a safety thing, so little kids don't hang themselves. So it keeps the thing from dangling.
All right. Well, I didn't think that was an issue, but apparently
It is.
Just like a stop sign, it had to have happened at least once or twice that they had to change all of this stuff and do all of that.
What I was saying was like the boat thing was one thing, but then it followed up with, I'm also looking at the back of the boat here, watching to see if people are getting left off the boat because they're not on time.
Oh, yeah, I did do that.
And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, he's probably having a great time watching these people possibly missing the cruise.
I did do that because I would hear what they do is the ship blows the air horn, letting you know that it's ready to close up shop. Like it's going to pull up the gangplanks from all the entrances of the ship onto the to the pier. And then the second horn means that it pushed off of the dock and it's about to take off. So it lets the harbor know for other boats that it's going to be heading forward. So you hear the second air horn. So when I hear the first air horn, I know like, oh, that's it. So I'm up on that top deck. I'm leaning over the part that goes out a little bit further, like it goes over where the bridge is for the captain.
Right.
It goes off to the side a little bit so I can look down the side of the boat. And I'm sitting there watching, and then a couple of people caught on that I was up there almost every day. And then they were
watching.
yeah, because some of them I recognize. They'd come over. It's like, is anybody running? I go, that one guy's running. So you would sit there and we'd look. Unfortunately, and I had my camera going because I wanted to see if the gangplank's up and they're screaming and yelling or, in their despair. Nothing. Everybody made it on the ship, unfortunately.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I never got a follow up on that. So I was wondering if anyone actually did get left off because I was like, you know what? That's an activity I think I would probably do too. Be like, ooh, I'm on the ship. Because that's my fear. My fear is taking one of these cruises, going out on the islands, doing my thing, and completely losing track of time. And the next thing you know, they've pulled, up the anchor and they're out. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm stuck here. No, thank you.
I want to try to show you this. I told you about this water slide that they have on the ship that essentially... It's a clear tube, goes out off the side of the ship, and then swings right back in. And then you go down one end of the ship, it turns around, goes off the side of the ship, comes back, and again you come up the other side of the ship, and you land. You get off a little bit lower than the deck that you initially started on.
This is the one called the aqueduct, right? Is that what they called this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show you this. This is what it looks like, and this is during the day because it runs at night too. I found out, and that's terrifying.
I was going to say that would be terrifying.
But this is during the day here, so I just took some footage of people. Let me mute that because we don't need to hear. Why is that not muting? Mute, damn you, mute. There we go. Here we go. So you can see them right there. They're on this little raft thing.
Oh, wow.
Goes flying off the side of the ship, comes right back on, and then it goes down that other way. Now, if I can find... Okay, here's the other part where they come in for what I was calling, I guess, the landing. But see right there, you're just stuck in a hamster tube as people are on this thing. Now, that was successful, right? Those people there were fine. I've seen other people, older people, young little kids, flip over with the raft, and the raft is coming down either on top of them, before them, or after them, and you're just seeing arms and feet and legs scraping across this clear tubing as it goes up and down the ship because they fell off and they were not paying attention to what they were doing.
Could you imagine getting stuck in the one that's out off the side of the boat? It's at night and they don't know how to get you out, and you're just like
you're just looking
stuck in a tube out in the middle of nothing.
The only lights you see are the lights looking at as the water breaks from the bow of the ship. Right. You're seeing some of the white splash of the ocean, and then it's just jet black nothingness.
Jet black every one direction, jet black above you, and you're just stuck in a tube over the ocean.
Right.
Terrifying.
Let me show you the tube at night here. So here's towards the back of the ship, right? So you got the tubing here. Look, like there's nothing. There's no light pollution. Sometimes you don't even see the stars.
That's crazy. Like, I was wondering about that because, okay, you're out on the ocean. You're not, if you're away from the islands, maybe, but the boats are so lit up,
right,
that it's probably just killing any view that you would have.
So then you
that is just pitch black. Look at that. Ugh.
Look at that. So you're in this thing here. There's lights around every coupling for the tube.
Yeah.
But there's nothing. You don't know where the sky and the ocean meet. It's just black, void, nothingness.
Did you go on this thing? Did you take a trip around the aqueduct?
No, I did not.
Because I figured the kid was probably too small, with, obviously, and then probably even with adult supervision, they probably have a height limit.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if you decided to take the plunge.
That wasn't going to be allowed at all, so that did not happen. And I said, I don't really feel that I need to put myself into that kind of position. So that wasn't going to happen. I'll show you real quick some of the islands that I was at here. So this is Tortola. This was the island that my dad used to have a place.
Okay.
So you go down there, and it's all like a series of little islands all together. Fucking beautiful.
All I kept thinking is every time you you rolled up to one of these islands and you were showing us pictures is Erik is in his element. This is Sea of Thieves for him. He is very happy. This is his moments. The ship stuff, island stuff, this is where he belongs.
Right. So that was Tortola. That's a British Virgin Island, means that it's still under English rule. This was St. Thomas. This is American U.S. Virgin Island, so it's technically part of America. A lot of the islands have these cable cars now. You can go from the pier and everything all the way up to the top, these ridges up here on most islands. You can just take.
Is that what we're seeing here? Is that cable right down?
Yeah,
the middle
I'm on
there?
the cable right here. So these were I might stay at this place next time because I was looking at this and it's fucking nice.
It looks pretty.
Yeah. So you have this. Wait, it skipped something here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find the
That looks like a drug
one.
cartel house. Arnold should be trying to get his daughter from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, somehow it skipped this one. Here it is. So this is the cable car system.
Okay.
So you go in there from the bottom of the island, and then you just go all the way to the top. Now, when they were talking about this, I thought it was just like zip lining. And I go, all right, I'll try zip lining. And then
you zip line down.
Yeah, so it was the cable car thing. So I said, okay, this might be fun. And going up, and it got about halfway, and I turned around and looked, and I froze. Because I have a thing with heights. I don't like the idea of that. It looks pretty, but I don't. So that was a big problem. But I stood there. I was holding anything metal firmly until it got to the top, and then I was fine. I could look off the deck there,
white knuckling it,
and see everything, and then travel all the way down. Back down was equally terrifying, but I was proud of myself that I went and did it, and I got some good photos when I managed to not let my phone slip.
I was gonna say it's a good view. It's very pretty,
right? So continuing with St. Thomas here. So this is some of the view off the boats. Now I want to tell you talked about the size of cruise ships, right?
Yeah,
and you said how big they were. The ship we're on, the Disney ships, they're big, but they're not big compared to some of the ships that Royal Caribbean has.
Right.
Royal Caribbean has monster ships. They have the ships that the people were trying to survive on in 2012. Remember the three big...
the giant arcs?
The giant arcs that they made? That's essentially the size of the cruise ships that Royal Caribbean has now. Now, look at this beautiful landscape here, right? Can you see the Royal Caribbean ship? Because if you can, I'll point it out to you. Take a look. No,
I'm seeing all the little sailboats and stuff like that, but I'm not
right
seeing...
over here in the harbor and coastline and everything.
Jesus Christ! It's just hanging out over the top of the island.
It's just easing over the tops of most of the mountains.
And look at the boats on the water right in front of this. Look how tiny they look compared to just where I'm assuming the captain is sitting.
The captain would be right around here. Water slides, amusement parks, all their other stuff. Right here is the Central Park that they have in the center of all their ships now. That's meant to look like New York, Times Square, Central Park, all mixed together. But look at that.
Jesus.
There's the island.
Thing's huge.
It's bigger than most of the mountaintops or the hilltops.
That's impressive.
Right? Fucking A. So, now, here's another side of the ship. This is St. Thomas. Now, at this point is when I started texting you and Rob and telling you that I saw a boat crash at a phenomenal speed. This boat, speedboat, I guess, obviously rented. We saw the other photo here, harbor. You can get boats, you can get all this kind of stuff. They had catamarans, you could do pontoon boats, they had fishing boats, they had all this stuff. Somebody rented a boat and decided that they were going to full speed skim through the harbor here. Now, you can't do that, especially in areas controlled by the United States, and I think Europe too. They have the signs positioned for no wake zones and channel markers and things like that. And you have to follow these markers ruling because it's either very shallow, there's a reason that something dangerous is going to happen because it's maybe a busy intercoastal, something like that. You have to follow those markers till you get to a certain marker that says past this point you're on your own, and then you can throttle up and go nuts into the ocean. Well, somebody was joyriding through the harbor here. Now, look at these things. metal buoys, metal markers, right? Boat comes flying around the front of the cruise ship here. There's those markers I was telling you about. And look, there's buoys and some channel markers. And there's another channel marker right there. I don't know what it says, but it's warning you of something. And here's some rocks. And just because you see these rocks here, just like Titanic, doesn't mean that there's stuff that's not close to the surface that you're not seeing. Well, that guy did not see it, because we'll do another Where's Waldo here for you. Tell me on the photo where the sunken boat is.
Now, you said this originally, and no, not off the top of, not originally, I didn't see it. I was like, no, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Okay.
Zoom in closer to the island on the left.
Like right here?
No, a little bit higher, because I'm seeing where you said the wake was. Like, I'm looking at that trail. So I'm kind of trying to follow that. I think I see it.
Over here?
No, a little higher than that. Like, and then over. So zoom in a little bit right in that area.
This area here?
Yeah.
You would be correct.
Look at that thing.
So the boat must have sounded like a loud crunch when it hit, but from the top of the boat, it just was like, you heard something. You're like, what was that? It wasn't loud. It wasn't anything. And apparently the guy sped through here, hit something. And the boat wound up full speed, with a hole or something damaged to it in here, and got to this point.
I was going to say, because that trail there, what do you think that is? Fluids, like gasoline?
That's
kind
the
of,
fuel
oil?
from the boat. This, I don't know, but this was from the fuel from that boat.
Right.
So wherever it hit, somewhere in here, it hit something, and that's where the fuel line started easing out. Now, you didn't see this at first. It was started over here, but as the currents go, it spreads out.
Right.
This boat had people on it, and because there were other boats here, some catamarans and stuff, they came over, picked up the people, got them off the boat, and went back, I think, somewhere in this direction over there. Whoops, I went too far. Somewhere over in here. We saw no Coast Guard, no official Marine-style policing, government, anything. Military, nothing. The boat just kept going down, and we were watching it slowly sink, and I think it got to the point that it was too shallow that the boat is stuck like this.
Yo.
Right? The boat went down. They got the people off before the boat completely went down. This stayed there. Now, we left like an hour or two after that.
Still nothing.
The boat was still there.
From what I hear, a lot of the times when these things happen, they just say F it, and they try to collect on insurance.
Probably.
It's not even worth trying to salvage.
Probably.
And it probably didn't even have anything on the boat of any, value.
It's a rental. It's a rental boat.
Oh,
right?
They're screwed.
So there's the boat still there. We're leaving. I'll zoomed in a little bit more. We're there. This is as we're leaving the harbor.
Oh, I didn't see this one.
There's the boat.
Oh, dang.
There's the boat right
that's 2
there.
hours later.
Yeah.
Oof.
Just sitting there. Nobody came out to check on it. It's leaking gas and oil. Nobody bothered. It just sat there.
Sheesh.
And we left. So got to see a high-speed boat accident. That's always fun. Let's see what else we can start.
I was going to say, before I have to get out of here, I want to know, you're on vacation. You're having a good time. Things are falling on your feet. You're having annoyances. Usually on vacation, you try to let loose a little bit and have some drinks. I don't know, what's all inclusive? Is this that kind of package that you guys have? Or
everything's all inclusive. Alcohol is never, unless you go to a high-end resort.
Okay.
A lot of these vacation things, alcohol is never included.
Because alcohol and Disney are not really things I think about.
You
but
can
this is a
buy
cruise ship,
beer
so they're
packages, and they'll give you they'll bring 2 cases of beer to your room, and then you have that for the week, unless you're going to buy another beer package or something.
Right.
Same thing with water. I wound up buying, even though there's water everywhere. Got a little kid that constantly needs Pedialyte and whatever. So I bought a water package. So we had a case of bottled smart water in the fridge in the room there, so that we always had something in case the kid needed it. We wound up having several bottles left because we didn't use it as much as we thought, but I rather,
Better be
err on the side of
prepared
caution
than
for
not.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, alcohol is never really included. I did enjoy a beverage or two. I was not drinking really at all on the cruise. I was having my iced tea. I was having. I'm the guy that orders those tropical fruity drinks that are non-alcoholic that are on the menu. I'm like, ooh, this has guava in it. I think
Like,
I'll
I
try
need an
that.
umbrella.
Yeah, I'll have those kind of things. Then finally somebody ordered me a drink and it's like, you need to have a real drink. And this was placed down next to my iced tea. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was curious about that one because it almost like it's got what I'm assuming is a mint leaf. So I almost thought like maybe it's like a weird
leaf,
mojito.
I'm guessing blue curacao. I was told rum is in it. I don't know what the red here. It might be grenadine.
Maybe.
It was delicious. I had to take a photo to send to you guys. I go, look, I'm having an adult beverage because I don't drink. So this was put down in front of me and said, you need to have one. So I did. But then apparently that wasn't enough. Not by my doing, because I was also bought a ticket and told that I was going to a martini tasting. And that could not be further from anything that I would enjoy.
Now, Heather is saying based off the color, that might be cranberry. Did you taste cranberry in there?
I don't think I tasted cranberry at all.
Okay.
I mean, she could be right. I don't remember tasting cranberry, but if this was all alcohol, the only like red alcohol that I know outside of wine is grenadine, right? Isn't grenadine red?
Grenadine's just cherry juice.
Yeah.
That's not even alcoholic.
No, but all right. But what they use for alcoholic drinks and stuff is isn't grenadine in like Shirley Temples? Isn't that what a Shirley Temple is? It's like
that's what you're used to. Yes.
7-Up and that's fair point. But yeah. So anyway, that was what I was told I was having. Then I had the martini thing, and because there's some people that they all wanted to go, so I was like, okay, we're going to go. I got to address this. Hold on, because it is important. There it is. We have to go over to Super Chats and our buddy iRock sending over $5. Thank you very much. Steak martinis. Believe me, sir, if it was steak martinis, that would have been all over all my social media. But alas, that was not the case.
No, he got himself a Bay Breeze and an iced tea, and he was having a great time.
So then at one point, the waiter, because at dinner you have set wait staff for you every night. It's the same people at your restaurants and stuff. And the waiter goes, because everybody else is enjoying wine and drinks and stuff. Like, do you not want anything? I said, no, I'm good. I just want iced tea with lemon. Do you not drink? I'm like, why?
Was he confused? You're an adult, right?
Well, to be fair, all the staff is from different parts of the world. It has their name and it says where they're from.
Right.
And this lady, was from Southeast Asia, and she's asking me, she's like, "You not drink?" I go, "No, I really don't, but thank you." Okay. Like she was looking at me like there was something wrong.
Right.
So,
like, are you all right?
All right. So anyway, martini tasting. There was 8 martinis that were brought to me, and they do a whole thing where they're running the gamut on your taste palette, and each martini is supposed to emphasize a different part of your taste palette and how it appears to the aroma. So what you smell may not be actually what you taste and all of this stuff. This thing with the blueberry is a red herring because it's not called a red herring, but it was a red herring because it was red and it has a blueberry in it, and nothing about it tasted red or blueberry because I took a sip of it and it tasted like a peanut butter cup.
Ugh, Doritos.
Right? And it turns out that it's something with some alcohol that has hazelnut or tastes like hazelnut.
Okay.
That they made for it, and I don't like hazelnut, and I'm not a fan of Nutella, so that's exactly what it tasted like. So I said, "Oh, that's great," and that's where it sat. This one here was Kahlua, Irish cream, some Italian liquor called something with an F, Fredoniana or whatever. I don't remember. It was just like throwing chocolate milk and coffee together.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't. Oh, this might be it. Heather has it right there. Where is it? Frangelico. I think that's exactly what it was. So that was all in here. So this tastes like somebody put coffee and chocolate milk together. This tasted like a Cosmopolitan, and it was the closest thing to fruit that I could recognize. So this I actually enjoyed, but that meant I took 2 sips and then left it there. And this one was, I don't know how fucking people drink gin.
No.
I can't stand it.
I'm not a martini person. Like, none of this looks good to me.
Gin, to me, seems like what I imagine the blue Barbicide thing is, that the barber puts his
Where they're
combs
dipping
and
the
the
brushes
scissors
in?
into there. That's what gin, to me, I'm like, that stuff might taste like gin. Because gin's just some kind of floral and vodka that is fused together. And there's different kinds of gins for different kinds of parts of the world and all this shit. And like they kept bringing all these martinis over. And the guy is asking me, because then he finds out halfway through that I don't drink. And he goes, why are you, like, he's laughing. He's like, why are you here? I'm like, because they didn't want to come alone. So we all came. So he kept asking me about stuff. And the one thing he goes, what do you think of this one? And I'm smelling it. And I just kind of wince a little bit. And I go, I think I know what it is, but it can't be what it is. What is it? I said, it smells like a pine tree. He said, all right, well, what part of a pine tree? And I go, well, the only kind of thing of a pine tree that you should ever have any kind of inkling of tasting is the sap. You know, it's like, what are you gnawing on a pine cone, like a corn on the cob? I said, so yeah, it tastes like pine sap. And then he's explaining the processes of gin and all this other stuff. And Heather has it in here too. Yeah. Gin tastes like pine trees. That's exactly what it was. And juniper is a common gin botanical pine trees. Yep, that's exactly what they were talking about. So, that was the most I did as far as adult beverages. I don't know how people do it. I can't do bourbon tastings. I can't do whiskey stuff. I can't do gin. I can't do any of this stuff. I don't know how.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try bourbon and like whiskeys. I've just never gone out of my way to do it. I'd have never wanted to spend $120 on a bottle of something like that. So I never like get around to doing that kind of stuff. It always intrigues me. I know I don't like martinis. I've tried. Like, martinis are just gross. Yeah. And I'm not a fan. You know, I'll do beer.
No, I've seen like they had one martini that it was like a lemon drop martini. So it was like absolute citron and something else. It was just like very lemon with a vodka.
It's like a lemon pledge with alcohol.
Yeah, and it smelled fine. I love lemon, but I took a sip, and no matter how you try to hide or fruity up alcohol,
right,
it automatically just separates in my mouth. As soon as I'm drinking it, I was like, oh, there's the alcohol. I don't. Everything tastes like grain alcohol to me. I can't deal with it. But to wrap up the martini thing, and then we'll wrap this up here. There's always, whenever there's a gathering like this, there's always somebody that thinks they're funny, or they think they're going to like, I'm going to over explain things so I can like, look, I know just as much as the guy who's giving the demonstration. The guy who put this whole thing on has bartended around the world for famous restaurants. He was a head something for whatever bartending hierarchy is for Hilton hotels in Latin America. And so this guy has world experience in doing this stuff, mixologist, all of this shit. So he's showing you how he makes things, how you can combine things, and, you know, goes through all of this stuff. And it's interesting. I'm listening to that. I don't care about the drinks. I'm watching him make it at the bar, and he's talking about the stuff. And that I found fascinating.
Yeah. The history and the act of making it is usually more interesting. Like, I like those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So
like the guy's explaining all this stuff, and then there's always somebody in a group that thinks that they're on par with the person giving the lecture or the demonstration or whatever it is. And they're going to try to throw stuff out there. It's like, see, I know it too. I'm just like you. That kind of fucking nonsense mentality. So there was one dude there, and they're talking about gin and distilling gin. He's talking about the history of gin, and he's like, do you know where gin originated from? And I think he said Holland, that it came from there. And they're explaining about different areas of the world where they are known for distilling gin. Different ways they do it, different floral combinations, different everything. Certain areas around the world have specialties for certain things. And the guy starts saying, he's like, well, you can't do this you couldn't do gin in Lynchburg. Like everybody, most of the people were from the United States, but there were a lot of people that weren't from the United States. And we're all looking at him like, what the fuck is he talking about? he kept talking about Lynchburg, and then he says Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Right.
So I go, okay. So I'm thinking this guy must be from Lynchburg, Tennessee. And he's like, well, it's a dry county and this and that. And he's going on for this. It's like, what does this have to do with the fact that guy's talking about different areas of the world that distill certain types of gin, right? He keeps talking about fucking Lynchburg, Tennessee. And the guy who's doing all this stuff is getting annoyed. And he says, have you tried to distill gin in Lynchburg, Tennessee? He's like, no, but people have tried to come in and they get run out of town. He's like, he's like, I'm a bourbon drinker. Okay,
and why are you
what
here?
does that fucking mean? So the guy's talking about gin. You're talking about, I only drink bourbon. I don't really know anything about gin, but I know you can't distill it here. Can't distill it in Lynchburg. Is he from there? No, he's not even from there. He's just bringing this up. Lynchburg, Tennessee, apparently is where Jack Daniels is made. Mm-hmm. That's like their main headquarters or their main distillery is in in Lynchburg, Tennessee, or something like that. I think I think they said Jack Daniel. I don't forget. It might have been Jack Daniel, but it was some well-known company. And he kept going on about fucking, you can't distill there. It's a dry county. It's like, well, if Jack Daniels can fucking drink there, can make their shit there, why can't somebody distill there? Why are you bringing this up? Just shut the fuck up. Right? And I'm starting to mouth this, and it's starting to come out, and I get elbowed by a family member. They're laughing that I'm getting so annoyed by this guy. But they're like, don't say anything. Don't say anything. So I get elbowed. He's not even from that area. Guy's annoying me because every time he chimes in with something, I'm just like, I just want to throw the glass at him. Just shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about anything you have to say. He's talking about a different martini. And I kid you not, he said, yeah, well, it's, when you're mixing with this. And he said, do you know what's in a basic martini, Jordan?
It's just gin.
That's one.
I don't know. What else is in there?
Vermouth.
Ah.
And then depending how and the olive, right? But then depending if you want it dirty, they put the olive juice in there.
Juice,
and then, dry, extra dry, the way that they do all that stuff. Sometimes vodka martinis, that's a different style. There's all different styles for this shit. But in a basic martini, gin, vermouth, olive, right? He kept saying vermouth. Vermouth.
I keep thinking if you add that in, because that was what's her face's drink in Groundhog Day, sweet vermouth with a twist. But right. I could imagine him just going sweet vermouth.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
So I'm learning about vermouth, and the guy's telling me it's like how technically it falls in the category of a wine. It's like the byproducts of wine making or something that they don't use for wine. It's like he was talking about how like certain wines wouldn't last long way back in the days for traveling. So they infused certain alcohol into the wine so that it would have a longer life for transport, like overseas and overland and stuff. So vermouth comes from the way wine is processed. He kept saying vermouth. By the third time he said vermouth, I didn't. When you say the thing that you're supposed to think before you think it, the third time he said vermouth, I just went, "You're dumb." And the guy looked at Tom from Alberta. Vermouth is a Canadian vermouth. It probably is. But by the third time the guy said it, I just went, "You're dumb." My family heard it. Other people heard it. They were sitting next to us, started laughing. His wife heard it. Now, his wife didn't react to it. The guy looked at me.
She's been living with this.
Right. But I just went, "You're dumb." Like that. No angry tone, no sarcastic tone, just very conversational. "You're dumb." I meant to think that.
That's hilarious.
I said it before I thought it. And at that point, everyone else is laughing. The guy doing the demonstration's laughing. And then that guy finally shut up. That wasn't my intention. So funny. But
no, very much was. I just don't think you actually were going to do it. I think
there's times I say things under my breath that only whoever's sitting next to me hears it.
Should hear it, yeah.
Like my mom sometimes when my sister's doing dumb shit or whatever, I'll say something like that. And she'll hear it and laugh, or she'll say, "Shut up," whatever. But I'm just gritting my teeth.
Was it one of
and
those
saying it that
moments
way.
where you said it and it just happened to where all the noise died down for that particular second? And then it just, you're dumb. And like everyone heard it, or you just heard it loud enough?
vermouth that it just went, you're dumb. That was it. There was no waiting. There was no, I mean, you could have scripted it that way, I guess, but I just said, you're dumb. And everyone heard it. And then the guy shut up. And then we went on with the rest of the tasting. So all in all, the cruise was fine. I did find that it's the different than the other cruises because it's the reverse of other cruisers. There's so much stuff to do for the kids and the family time, but my day was done by like 9:00. There was nothing to do at night. There's no casinos. There's bars.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
There's bars on the ship, and then some of the other lounges that they try to convert to have adult activities like karaoke or trivia things and all that stuff. Most of the people weren't going there to do anything because they went back to the room with their kids or they were passed out because of their kids and stuff. I'm sitting there like everyone's passed out and we have like connecting suites.
Right.
So I could go through this door to that person's room, go through the next door to the other family's room or whatever. Everyone's either sleeping or sitting there watching TV. I've just sat there most of the time on my iPad getting mad at Doctor Who, watching.
I've been noticing.
Watching the new Acolyte Star Wars stuff. I'm almost done with X-Men 97.
Okay.
And I watched Clue for the upteenth time. And I watched something else. I forget.
That's where the red herring came through.
Yeah. So I would sit there and just watch the iPad and then that was it. And then I was back up at 7 a.m. because there was nothing to do. At least on the other cruise lines like Royal Caribbean stuff, they have kids stuff. But then at a certain point, kids are done for the evening, and then all the other shit opens, like the casino and all that fun stuff. But
you do notice the full circle moment that you just did, where we started this off, you talking about how it was amazing just sitting there, lost in your own thoughts, staring out into the middle of the ocean, literally doing nothing, and then now you're like, there's nothing to do.
Well, I sat there. All right. I'll ease it back a little bit. I'm watching my iPad, all the stuff that I downloaded to watch. Sitting on my balcony, staring out at the blackness of the ocean, watching the waves break as the boat's going by. And then sometimes you see other cruise ships, depending where you are. Sometimes you see deep sea fishermen boats.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But that was it. I would sit there by the water, Serenity Now, with my iPad watching everything.
I remember we did get a picture from you where you're like, we're out in the middle of the ocean, no islands around, nothing going on. Lone bird just flying next to the ship. And I'm like, where's that bird going? Where does that bird does he like stop on the boat to rest up? Like, what is this seabird doing out there?
Right. Tom from Alberta saying hanging with Erik with Erik around his family is a 5-star attraction. It is, because some of them get really mad at me because I don't want to do certain things or I tell them to stop being them. And it's like, just could you stop saying things?
I was going to say, I would love to see you in one of those, like, you know, Benihana situations like teppanyaki where you have to sit with random other people at a table and someone's doing it and you're like sitting there with a hot plate in front of you and you're just pissed off saying stuff like,
no, they'd be
fun to
saying
see you in
dumb
some of these
things.
things.
They're being loud, obnoxious Americans, and
Stop saying things.
I'd be sitting there yelling and going,
You need to shut your mouth.
and then other times,
Stop telling people stuff. Stop posting. Stop talking. Stop yapping. Shut up.
that's what I was doing. I was keeping everybody in line because I'm like, you look and act ridiculous. I know I'm a lot of fun to be around, but don't embarrass yourself.
yeah.
You know, Pirate Night came and went. I didn't have any pirate kind of costume, so they gave me the children's menu
That's super fun.
that doubled as the pirate hat. So I had this. So I had a
Please
good
wear
time.
this on the Sea of Thieves streams when we do them again.
That's why I brought it back, and I got one for you.
God bless you.
I brought one for you.
I was hoping you would. I know Rob made a joke, like bring it back so, you know, Jordan would wear it. And I'm like, please get me one.
I brought
Like,
you
please,
back
that
a
would
gift.
be fun. Oh,
Do you want to be surprised when I send it, or do you want to see it now?
I don't mind seeing it now.
Okay.
Let's recap
It's
your
not all
generosity.
of your gift. This is just a part of your gift.
Got it.
This is the part of the gift that I texted you and said, hey, I got you something. I think you're going to like it.
Very kind, yes.
Now, as of recent, in the world of cinema and theatrical releases, within the last, I don't even say a year, because I don't think it's been a year, but I'll say a year, because I think around Super Mario Brothers is when they started doing the popcorn buckets, and that Dungeons and Dragons movie with Chris Pine.
I think they've been around, but the popularity grew, so where they just started going crazy with them. So yeah.
So now any of the big movies have popcorn buckets, and then when Dune 2 came out and they came out with their own fleshlight, everybody's like, we got to have a fucking
I've seen it in person.
popcorn bucket. And then Deadpool's popcorn bucket is essentially it's Wolverine with his mouth open.
mouth
It's
wide
just
open.
insinuating that this thing could also be used as a fleshlight.
Hilarious.
So there was a exclusive popcorn bucket at the Walt Disney Theater on the boat.
Oh
So,
my.
You, being the gigantic fan that you are,
I am. Oh, you got the Disney Parks helmet. Holy shit. You're my new favorite person.
strap,
Those just got announced like a couple months ago.
battle damage.
Oh, that's going on that'll go on the shelf. That's going behind
I don't know
me.
how you open this, but
I think it hangs upside down and there should be, it should open right there.
oh, it's this side. That's why I couldn't do it. But that opens up for the bucket. So I go online to buy the bucket, and he's going to. I said, I just want the bucket.
Right.
He says, you don't want the popcorn? I said, no. And I shouldn't have said no like that because, like, ew.
No.
It's like, ew, I don't want the popcorn.
That's hilarious.
He gave me the popcorn in a regular bucket, the large thing that I said I didn't want. He just gave it to me anyway. He's like, you're paying for it. I said, I don't care. This is all
Give
I
it to the
wanted.
kid, throw it off the seabirds or something.
So,
That is
it goes
super
into here.
cool.
So
Thank you,
you've got the battle damage Star Wars helmet that I was amazed did not break in the suitcase on the way back.
That is super cool. I saw those for sale. I know that Disney Parks had them. I definitely didn't think I'd be able to make it to a park to grab one. That is super kind. Thank you so much.
Right. So,
That's awesome.
going backtrack, Heather saying sweet vermouth isn't for martinis, it's for Manhattans. Yeah, but vermouth is also used for martinis. She knows. She's a bartender.
It's true. She's our resident mixologist.
Anyway, you got this thing here.
That's super cool.
I'll send that out to you as soon as I can. I have some other things for you. I got something for the kids that I think you'll enjoy. So there is that. I think that we're done with this. I wanted to go through this separately because I didn't want to waste the show time for the rest of the month with this stuff, because for the next 3 shows, we are at our 10th anniversary of It's Erik Nagel, from our start at Sirius XM all the way up to our journey at iHeartRadio. And we're hitting the 10-year mark at the end of June. It also marks the 10-year mark since Opie and Anthony blew up. So, lot to celebrate at the end of this month. 2 tragedies wrapped into one nice little package. We've got a poster in the works. We've got stickers that are coming. We've got some old show members who will be coming back. And we've got some celebrity stuff and friends past and present who will be contributing in some way for the big 10th anniversary show. There's a lot going on this month. And I apologize. We're way behind on the consumer episodes. But because I was getting into vacation mode, I just didn't want to deal with the world. And I haven't taken a vacation in, I think, before the pandemic was the last time.
I mean, at least nothing like fun related. Like, you've taken some time off, but there's been a lot of
I had family members
issues
die
and
the last
families.
several years. I had a bunch of that to deal with, but I had no real time off
Bring us down
to just do anything that I wanted to do. And this was something I wanted to do.
Right. Well, I mean, like, even Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday night before your trip, we're all talking, and I'm sitting there going, we're going to do the show, right? Like, the next day. And you're like, yeah, that's the plan. And I'm sitting there going, dude, you're running around, you're going to banks, you've got 1,000 things going on, you're packing, you're doing all this shit.
Right.
if you need to take time off, let's take time off. And it was like literally like game time decision. You're like, we're not going to. And I was like, that's a good call. Good for you, because
I burnt
the show
myself
can wait.
towards the end getting ready for all this stuff. And then other shit went down right before I left. And I just said, I can't do this. So I can't. There's only so much I can do being host, being producer, being everything else for this production, doing everything myself, because they don't give me any money to hire a regular staff. I don't want to pay for that out of pocket right now because there's no need to. I mean, there is a need to, but I'd rather throw that money towards the kid than spending on that kind of stuff. And, I just said
she doesn't need it. She's got a bunch of just random money that you got on the ship,
dude. That too. But that the kid was. I'll say this: I don't really talk about my family or anything. Kid was a rock star on that ship.
She looked like she was having a great time.
Fantastic
like she really
time.
did, and I was happy that you got to have that moment. Like you genuinely looked actually happy in those moments. You complain about things that's going on, and you're having your misadventures, as it were. But the stuff that you don't talk about publicly, you look like you're having a good time, and I was happy you had that
fantastic moment. Time. Was amazing. That's when I started to realize everyone else goes on vacation, doesn't worry about their shit and doesn't worry about stuff, and it just says, "Oh, I'll come back to it when I can." I got some emails that I haven't even talked to you about yet while I was gone, and I'm looking through and go, where the fuck did this come from?
Right.
Or what's happening here? So there's a bunch of other stuff that might be happening in the future now, and I don't like teasing things because it's just stupid. Until the deal is done, why would you tease anything?
Mm-hmm.
That's just getting hype and what cheap heat, as the wrestling world calls it, but there's no payoff. And if it doesn't happen, then the people go, why? Well, you were talking about this. Why didn't it come through? Oh, yeah, well, stuff. So you shouldn't bring that up. Unless it's something conclusive and something finalized, there's no need to bring it up. But I'm going to say some things showed up out of nowhere, and I'm like, that might be interesting. So we'll see how that goes. And, different mindset coming back. It's just like, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to stop. I'm tired of dealing with everybody else's shit. I'm tired of fixing everybody else's problems. I'm kind of like, I'll do my jobs. That's not a problem. But all the extra stuff, it's like, I'm kind of done. I think they call it, what is it? Silent quitting?
Yeah.
I think I always thought it was dumb and a cop out, whatever, but I'm kind of understanding it a little bit now.
Well, they call it silent quitting, but what it is actually just doing your job and your job only. And then that's it. You don't do the extra. There's no need.
We got a lot of stuff that might be coming up. We got the 10th anniversary stuff all month. And shout out to our pal Tom from Alberta, who's helping me go through old stuff for the 10-year run of the show, trying to find clips to play. I definitely want to find that clip where I abandoned Giddles at a movie screening because the seats. Oh,
I remember that.
So I want to pull some of those old clips to replay. Next week, not this week, but the following week, I'm going to be back at the Blaze. So I think I'm doing Dave Landau's show. I might be doing Alex Stein's show, and there might be something else too. But I know I'm definitely doing Normal World with Dave Landau.
Right.
So that's coming up. There's some stuff in July I'm waiting on. And then August, the show's going to San Diego.
Yep.
We'll be the second week in San Diego. We'll be out there doing the show. Jordan's coming out. I think even Hollywood agent Rob Stark's going to come out.
Yeah, he's going to come a little bit south, hang out with us.
And our old producer, Trevor, currently the producer for the morning show, Jim Kerr at Q104 in New York City. He's coming out. So he's going to be there, and then maybe some special radio guests and stuff too. A lot going on this summer, and the summer just started. So
can he wear a onesie to the event where we can all
his flamingo onesie where he looks like he's wearing a giant footy pajama?
I'm like, what are you wearing, a singlet? Are you wrestling?
I love Trevor. He's Trevor. That's how Trevor's going to be. It's just ridiculous, but that's the life he chose.
I still think about it. You showed me that picture. I'm like,
me,
man, the audacity of that outfit. Like, good for you for pulling it out. There's no chance you.
My mindset has changed. I might dress like this for the rest of the summer now.
You know what? There you go.
I've got a whole rack of really expensive summer dress and Hawaiian style shirts that I'm like, they're just sitting there. I might as well wear them.
I mean, I work from home in my day to day, unless I'm in a meeting, it's sleeveless. Like it's over 100 degrees outside. There's no need for sleeves. Like this was just we're just casual. Thursday, I'll, back in sleeves. I don't want to tempt you.
Thursday, I might wear another decorative shirt like this, and you'll be sitting there going,
Why are you dressed as the man from Del Monte?
Yeah, that's just who I am now. That's who
so
I'm going
sad
to
that
be.
show's over.
All right, Jordan, let's do the plugs. What do you have, my friend?
You can watch me on I'll Watch You Later podcast. We're on YouTube at I'll Watch You Later podcast. Watch Later Pod on Instagram. I was able to get everything set up. So now if you want, you can check out all of our audio shows on YouTube as well as Spotify, Apple, all the other places to look. Video is up and running. So there's also video if you want to check that out. We just talk about all kinds of stuff, movies that we've been putting off. We just watched a really bad one, and I'm not going to talk about it. We're going to put that show out. But then just, things that we should have watched by now. So pretty fun.
Okay. Maybe
and snacks.
Yeah. Maybe the next episode will also be about proper dining etiquette. But that's for another show.
Last week's show, we did have a nice recap of what could have been a show outing. I decided not to go, but they had a fun adventure at Restaurant Week at Fogo de Chao.
That was probably the smartest move for you to do. And then I need to talk to Aaron because
Aaron was the one that liked it. In his defense, he was the one who was way into it. It was Scott that was
shitting on him.
Applebee's.
Aaron seemed to be the one who was enjoying it and was actually viewing it from the right way.
It's very defensive.
I know this is very vague, but it'll be for an episode of your show, the I Didn't Watch It podcast. I'll be hopping on there at some point so we can all discuss that. But until then, for me and for this show, it's Erik Nagel across the board on all the social media platforms. Find us there. If you listen to us on iHeart, Apple, Spotify, do us a kindness. Or it's a grift, some asshole was calling it. Do us a kindness. Go over there. Leave us a positive review. It helps out the program, helps out the algorithm. And if you want to go even above and beyond that, go and tell two friends so that they can tell two friends.
And he tells two friends.
And she tells two friends.
And so on, and so on, and so on.
And that's just how it goes when we get the word out there. And join us.
The coronavirus.
And join us each and every week in our live rooms on Twitch and on YouTube. I don't know how long Twitch is going to last because we got to talk about that on the next show. Twitch is making some changes that might be a bit problematic. But anyway, thank you everybody for coming in and being part of this. Also, I got to bring this up here. IROC just under the buzzer with another $2 donation. That's all going to Jordan so he can live it up at Rita's and get himself a nice gelato. All right, that's it. Until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing you. Thank you very much for being here for this impromptu show. And as soon as I can find the closer, I will hit it. There
Aloha,
it is.
Everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
It's Erik Nagel.
Did you abscond with the church funds? Did you run off with the senator's wife? I like to think that you killed a man. It's the romantic in me.
It's a combination of all three.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Erik Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itseriknagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell two friends so they can tell two friends, and they can tell two friends, they can tell two friends, they can tell two friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.